Hi, good afternoon. My name is Lim Him Chuan, and Lim is my surname. So in Chinese, Lim means forest. Right? And as we know, a forest is made of many trees. So it's like an ecosystem. I'm really pleased to be here because the FinTech Festival is effectively an ecosystem where we come together and share and learn. And my given name is Him Chuan, and Him in Chinese means a rock of gold. It's money. All right, and Chuan is river, which means water, liquidity. All right, so first of all, I would like to use my name to wish every one of you success, a lot of money, a lot of liquidity, and make a lot of money in your own venture going forward. Thank you so much. Yeah. Talking about money and talking about outcomes, well, so for those of you who happen to be a DBS investor, a shareholder, you should be quite happy because yesterday and even today, our share price actually surged a lot. Right? So we are now like $42, right, which is a historical high. And the good news is that we continue to deliver very good ROE. So our ROE for the year so far is 18.7%. It's very rare for a bank in this part of the world. And the cost-income ratio is 39%. So the question is, how did DBS achieve all these outcomes for our shareholders? Okay. Well, in part, it's because we pivoted to a lot of the asset-like businesses like wealth management, cash management. Right. We continue to focus on Asia, and Asia is a growing market. But it's also because in the last 10 years or so, we have been working very hard using digitalization, using AI to drive our businesses. So today I'm here to show you the journey that we've been on starting from back in 2014. So as with anything, when we started on this journey, it wasn't perfect, right? So in 2014, when we wanted to look at how to use digital, we also started to think of how do we use data and AI? And we noted that IBM created a machine, Watson. And Watson actually won the American quiz show Jeopardy. Right? It was also applied to the field of cancer treatment. So we were very excited, and we decided to speak to IBM. And we partnered them to create an AI model to inform our RMs on giving investment advice. However, at that point in time, the natural language processing technology, NLP, was not so mature. Right? So it wasn't giving us the good results, and our RMs preferred to Google for the answers. So it was actually a failed experiment. Right? But as with any startup, okay, to fail is a first attempt in learning, so that was okay. And we were very fortunate that around that time, the Singapore government had an agency, in fact it's still here today, GSTAR, that was helping to drive the Smart Nation agenda. Okay, and as part of the agenda, they were very keen to work with DBS Bank to embark on this whole AI/ML journey. So they gave DBS 10 data scientists. Okay, and today, some of them are still in the bank, right? Now, that was a very good learning experience because we worked on quite a number of use cases, right, for contextual marketing, in risk management, even internal audit. I used to be the head of internal audit, and I always struggled. How do I even perform an audit by just taking 20 samples and vouch and give myself, assurance that controls are okay, right? So we decided to use some analytics and AI to do the audit, and today is very mature. Now, the experience that we had from GSTAR also taught us a couple of things regarding how to get ourselves organized better, which I'll explain later. The third experiment, or rather experience that we had, was with a startup from Stanford. So Stanford, SRI, had a startup known as Casisto that was actually creating a digibot, a chatbot. Okay, so we wanted to work with them and experiment with this bot, and it gave us also quite a lot of learning as well. Now, arising from the initial experiments, in 2018, we recognized that we definitely can make very good use of AI, right, to become a different kind of bank, right, to offer different types of services to our customers if we do it well, right? And why? Because number one, we think that, if we want to do it well, we need to be able to scale, right, the use of AI and to make it pervasive in the whole bank. Number two, we need to reduce the efforts and the cost to actually cut down on the life cycle of AI deployment. And number three, which is the most important, how do we derive, right, economic outcomes at an exponential level from the use of AI? And because of that, we embarked on a very comprehensive program comprising three things. Number one, right, we created a platform. Okay, number two, we also created a set of processes. And number three, which is the most important, we needed talents. We needed people to actually orchestrate and drive this whole agenda. And as such, as you can see, first of all, in terms of the platform, we have created a single data lake known as ADA. So ADA stands for Advancing DBS with Analytics. It is named after the first computer programmer in the world, right? Lady Lovelace Ada. Right, so that's the name, right? It took DBS from 2017 until now, 7 years to create this platform. Why? Why was it so hard to create this platform? I think many of you might have experiences dealing with like data quality issues, metadata definition, lineage of data. All those things required a lot of focus and commitment from the management team, from everybody in the bank to drive. So it was a lot of hard work, and we are really pleased that after 7 years or so, today we have this single data platform, and it has got like 5.3 petabyte of data, more than what Netflix has, right? Number two, we also needed a protocol, right? We created a protocol to guide, our people in deploying AI, ML in the bank. And this protocol is known as Alan, right? And Alan is named after the first computer scientist, Alan Turing, the Turing test, okay? Yeah, but the Alan protocol is also the library of all the AI, ML models that were created so that we could recycle or we could reuse these models, right, in other parts of the bank. So for example, if I created a model on nudging customers to buy insurance in Singapore, then I could also use the same model, right, in my Taiwan market, which I used to be the CEO for DBS Taiwan. And that actually cut down the amount of time needed to deploy the AI models. Finally, which is the people, right? So we used to have data professionals, right? We have 700 of them sitting in different parts of the bank, consumer banking, in risk management, in technology. It was a federated approach. We decided to bring them together and create a data chapter, right, of people that are responsible to drive this whole program. And in the 700 people that we have there, right, 200 are data scientists. And this team, right, reports to me, right? So my team is called GSTAR, right, Group Strategy, Transformation, Analytics. The A refers to this group, and R is research. Okay, so as you can see from the slide here, the use of AI in DBS is pervasive, right? It's all over. It's not just in the business unit, right, whereby we use, AI models to nudge customers. It's also used in risk management, okay, whereby we are able to better predict, right, the credit, losses of our customers. We also use them in human resource, in HR, right? Because we face turnover, right, in our consumer bank business because the RMs, if they can't deliver their results in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they might have to go, right? So because of that, the HR team is under a lot of pressure to hire quickly and a lot. But they couldn't have so many people to recruit, so we created a model known as GYM, JIM, Jobs Intelligence Maestro, right? And this model actually is used to match, right, the applicants, right, with the criteria that we have set to be able to hire the RMs on a faster basis as well as on a bigger basis. As mentioned, internal audit is the other function that we have also been using AI. So altogether today, we have 1,500 models in the bank, driving 370 plus use cases. Like everywhere you go in DBS, you will find AI models being used. Okay. Now the good news is also that we have managed to reduce the time to value, right, from 18 months to about 2 to 3 months. So the speed of deployment has also become shorter. Now, and we have trained more than 9,000 people in the bank, right, on this whole use of AI model. And most interestingly, if we look at the outcomes, so when we first started to measure the outcome using A/B testing, in 2021, we accounted for 75 million Sing dollars of value. Right? So these outcomes are in terms of the revenue upside, in terms of the ability to contain the credit losses or fraud losses. It is also about productivity gains, right, in the way we work. And in 2022, right, it kind of like doubled to 178 million. And then last year it was 370. This year, we are going to double it further to 780. Next year, we think we can actually hit $1 billion. So this, I think, is a very good metric to account for because it does make sure that our data professionals, they are always reminded that whatever they do, they must deliver economic outcomes. Otherwise, it's just going through the motion. Okay, so as we continue on this journey, and I think all of you are aware that 2 years ago around this time, there was this whole explosion of Gen AI. And we were fortunate because of the foundation that we have laid in the last many years that we were able to quickly evolve into the use of Gen AI. Because to us, Gen AI is just one type of AI. It's not a totally new thing. And the way that we have looked at Gen AI, I can see that everybody is taking your phone to take a picture. And please feel free to also visit our booth at 2B23, where we can also show you the details. But basically what we did was that we did some crowdsourcing. Right? So in the bank, we have hackathons, we have crowdsourcing, and our colleagues came back with like 100 over use cases. In the end, we had to prioritize because we couldn't work on every one of them, and not every one of them will give us the outcomes that are desirable. And with that, we managed to frame, right, them into two prisms. So we have the vertical use cases and a set of horizontal use cases. Now, in terms of vertical use cases, this will include, for example, our customer service center agents. Right? So how do we use Gen AI to actually let our customer service agents perform their job better? We also deploy Gen AI in the case of operations, right? Because operations people are always very busy, doing, data input, maker checker, and all that. So Gen AI actually is also very applicable, right? Number three, in the software, in the coding part, right? We also have used Gen AI for, the story framing, in terms of the testing and all that. And in terms of the relationship managers, right? In the corporate banking, in the wealth space, Gen AI has also been very powerful. Now, then the second prism, as mentioned, is the horizontal use cases. And in there are two things that we have done. One is we have created an enterprise knowledge base, EKB, okay, which I will give you, more details later through a video. And we have also created the DBS GPT. So we have GPT that we can actually use on OpenAI, but the problem is that you can't really post, sensitive information there. All right, so the DBS GPT allows our colleagues to actually load sensitive internal documents in there for them to use Gen AI. And all the things that we have done for the use cases are subject to a set of guardrails and responsible use of data and how we want to engage our people. Those things have also been very clearly defined. So now I would like to show you a video on how we have used GenAI to help our colleagues in the customer service center. Right? This is a center that actually serves mainly our SME customers who have often complained that they are not well served because we just do not have enough people to serve them. So let's watch this video.
A customer service officer typically spends 60 to 70% of their time on calls, while the remainder is spent on administrative work and follow-ups. For each call, a customer service officer takes notes, navigates multiple screens for relevant information, summarizes the call, and generates the service request. With the CSO Assistant GenAI model, it provides live transcripts, real-time recommended responses, call summaries, and service requests that can be refined by the customer service officer. This reduces the average handling time by about 20%. Shorter handling times and increased first-time call resolutions improve overall customer satisfaction, making every interaction efficient and effective.
Okay, the colleague is wearing a mask, but actually she looks really happy because it removes away a lot of her frustration, right? Yeah, so this particular model is also applicable in the case of the audit sales call log review, risk management group collection. So many use cases could also leverage off the same model. Now the second use case is the horizontal use case on EKB.
Each week searching for documents, summarizing information, and creating content. However, most of enterprise knowledge consists of unstructured data, which is dispersed across various sources and is not easy to access. This includes call reports, credit memos, contracts, research reports, product and process knowledge, SharePoint documents, and many more. We want to organize these, like we did for structured data in Ada. To achieve this, we're building an enterprise knowledge base enabled by GenAI. It is a conversational interface that will understand queries and synthesize responses from the knowledge it contains. It will also provide direct access to underlying documents based on user permission. Enterprise Knowledge Base is complemented by DBS GPT, which provides additional capabilities, such as content generation, translation, and access to general knowledge. These free up employees' time for more valuable and meaningful work.
So we can't really quantify precisely how much time you save, but we ballpark is about 2 to 3% productivity gain from this, right? And likewise, we find this really useful because it provides a single access point to all the information that you need to find the bank. In the past, you had to go to intranet, your SharePoint, your whatever folder. Today, it's only one single entry point, and it's very highly personalized. So if I'm an officer in my India branch, right, I need to look for account opening document, policy. In the past, it would just show me a set of policies, but maybe it will show me Singapore corporate banking documents. But today, the machine knows that you are somebody working in a branch in India, and it will give you the direct answer. Right? So it's quite powerful. So basically, as we continue on this journey, it's important that we make sure that our people, they find these tools useful, right? So we have got 3 E's here: educate them. Right, we have got all training modules, Digify, the online training modules to excite people. Right, so things like that. We do a lot of this town hall sharing, right, engagement, and finally is to empower our people, right, with real impact. So I won't go through this because there's no time. And so for a start, okay, we have used GenAI more just as a co-worker, right? It's a fellow colleague, but we really think that GenAI is going to transform our business operating model. Right? That's the message. It's no longer just a co-worker. It's actually going to be a very powerful way to reimagine the day in the life of an RM, the day in the life of a tech person, the day in the life of an operations person, the day in the life of an auditor. Right? It's going to actually happen. And we think that therefore, if you use GenAI properly, it will help you to improve speed of productivity, broaden expertise knowledge, and increase the hyper-personalization at scale. And happy to just share that because of all the things you have done the last 10 years on this journey, we have been recognized, right, by Evident Index to be number 1 on AI leadership. We have recently also been covered by HBS, Harvard Business School, as a case study Please feel free to go and subscribe to this report, and many other awards that you can see on the screen. So, we are now in Changi, but feel free to drop by Marina Bay where our head office is, and in the evening time, we do have all these sales for you on your journey ahead for your fintech success. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lim.